right, let's talk Los Angeles Rams here for a little bit. Look, there's a story we've been wanting to get to for a couple of days now. I think the Rams are on the verge of something particularly massive with the draft rapidly coming right around the corner. Let's get into the article first and talk about it on the other side. This is courtesy of Rams Wire. There are rumblings that suggest the Rams could take a quarterback relatively early in the draft this year, with one report saying they've been, quote, sniffing around, unquote, the quarterbacks in this draft class. ESPN's Field Yates and Mel Kiper Jr. seem to be on board with him taking a quarterback in the second round, too. In ESPN's new 3-round mock draft, the Rams trade up from number 52 to 33, striking a deal with the Carolina Panthers. They gave up picks 52, 83, and a third rounder in 2025 to make the trade work, grabbing Michael Penix Jr. at number 33 overall. He'd be a great addition to the Rams quarterback room where he'd be allowed to sit for a year or two before becoming a starter. But would Los Angeles be willing to give up 2 extra picks to move up for him? All right, so the first thing to address here is that Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates, these are obviously very experienced draft analysts. These aren't your, random people on ESPN First Take debating just to get clicks on social media. They know these insiders. They know everything about in terms of how the draft works and draft strategy. They know the teams. They know the players. They know this stuff inside and out. It doesn't mean that guys like Mel Kiper Jr. are always correct. They usually aren't, but they're usually directionally true. So when they say the Rams and they predict the Rams to trade up and get a quarterback in the second round and they think it'll be Michael Penix Jr., I don't know if that will happen, but I don't think they say this unless they really truly believe and unless there's actually a lot of momentum and the Rams are evidently sniffing around for quarterbacks for the Rams to get a quarterback early in this year's draft. And the only way they could conceivably do that is by trading up either in the first round, highly unlikely, or getting back into the first round or going to the early second round. And that's why I kind of agree with where Kiper and Field Yates are coming from here in terms of the Rams seem to be about ready to make a massive trade to pick up a quarterback. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Rams fans in the comment section below, our regular question for fan bases during this time of year, we're all positive, we're all energetic, just trying to see who is going to be added to which roster. But the reality is a lot of draft picks, certainly some big name guys, don't work out. So in the comment section below, give us your number one Rams draft bust of all time. A lot of interesting names potentially on the list, but give us your number one draft bust in the comment section below. But Miles, what do you think of this report and the thoughts about the Rams potentially making a big trade to pick up a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, Nick, I think it does make sense if you start to break stuff down. Stafford is getting up there. I think he's 37 years old now. He's getting closer to 40 every single season. I don't know how much longer he's going to give it a shot with the Rams. He's probably going to hang it up sooner rather than later. Then you look at the other options on this Rams roster. You have Jimmy G on a 1-year deal. That's not your long-term answer by any means. Plus, he also has a ton of injury concerns of his own. I think he's a good emergency backup option for a couple of games if you need him, but this is not a guy that you want to have to rely on in the long term. Finally, we have Stetson Bennett. And what is Stetson Bennett? No one really knows. There's the mysterious absence that he has. There's just this air of mystique. Is he going to be playing in the NFL? Will he not be playing with the NFL right now? He's with the Rams. What happens with him in the future? We just don't know at all. So you don't want your next best option to be absolute question marks. So when you look at it from that perspective, I do think it is smart to, go ahead and say it seems like the Rams may be targeting a quarterback in this draft. Like you said, who knows if they're trading up for it or if they're just going to take whoever falls to them, whatever the case is. But I do think that Yates and Kuiper are onto something here as far as the Rams. It would make sense to me in my head for them to go after a quarterback in this draft. There is an abundance of quarterback talent. There's a lot of potential in this draft. I think there is going to be a guy inevitably here who will slide. There's a good core group of quarterbacks that are going to go early, 4, maybe 5. But then there's going to be a couple who start to slide, and those will be the guys that Rams target. Mike Penix, one of them, whose injury history. I think that's a guy who could slide that has a ton of talent to be interesting. People talk about Bo Nix. He could slide. That's one that people are looking at. JJ McCarthy. People don't know what's going to happen with him as well. I think there's a lot of options on the table. So all in all, I think it's really smart to think that the Rams are looking at a quarterback, and I'm excited to see what they do very shortly coming up on draft night.
And if you look at the Sean McVay era, and Les Snead, of course, as a general manager, is involved as well, and you look at the decisions he's made, I think there's really Snead and McVay together. There's really been four major influences throughout this era in terms of where the Rams are today, and I think that's Bill Belichick, formerly of the Patriots, Andy Reid with the Chiefs, of course Shanahan with the 49ers, and LaFleur with the Green Bay Packers. Those are four of I think the best well-run franchises in the NFL right now, excluding the Los Angeles Rams, in terms of sustained success over multiple seasons. And you look at what the Patriots did. The one mistake the Patriots did is they didn't have an heir apparent for Tom Brady ready, or Brady played too long, however you want to look at it. And of course, Mac Jones wasn't the guy. He fell off. The Patriots fell off. The Chiefs, Andy Reid, opposite approach. They drafted Mahomes when Alex Smith was on that roster playing well. Mahomes sat for a season, got better, got ready to play, stepped in, and now became the great Patrick Mahomes we all know. Look at the Shanahan example. The Shanahan example is an interesting kind of opposite. Shanahan went a direct approach in terms of trading up in the first round for Trey Lance, trying to get one of the top prospects. Trey Lance obviously didn't work out. They kind of lucked out with Brock Purdy. And then, of course, you have the LaFleur example in Green Bay, who drafted Jordan Love along with Brian Gutekunst over there with the Packers, drafted Jordan Love years early when Rodgers was still there. So that way they had a guy ready to step in and play at a high level when Rodgers inevitably left. So when you look at those four major influences on McVay, which of course will influence Les Snead's decision as well, he has the Patriots example he does not want to follow. So he does not want to have nobody prepared. He has the Chiefs example, which is a good one. He has the 49ers example, which is, okay, I don't want to trade up and get my quarterback and give up a lot of assets to get someone in the top 5. I don't want to go the Trey Lance route. And then he has the Packers example, which is one to follow. So you look at the Packers and the Chiefs, both were instances where those teams traded up to the middle or end of the first round to select their quarterback to sit and wait. That's kind of directionally what Mel Kiper is going at here. And I think that's what the Rams are likely going to do. Again, things have to align. Quarterbacks have to fall enough for them to be available. But if the right quarterback, whether it's Penix Jr. or somebody else, falls to the end of the first round, early second round, I truly believe and I truly expect the Rams to trade up and get that guy, get their quarterback of the future as they wait for Matthew Stafford to finish out his career.
Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you. Your full name, email, home address, health records, even your relatives. It's all out there. That's why we use Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows us which data brokers are selling our information and automatically submits opt-out requests for us.
Cleaning up our information not only reduces the amount of that stupid spam we all get, but it also protects us from hackers who could use this information to help them access our social media accounts, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Aura also does much more to protect us and our families from online threats. We also get features like antivirus protection, VPNs, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. That's really key. One location, get all this great stuff. It's really easy to set up. And the best of all, we get everything at one affordable price.
And you may already have one or two of these tools already, but not having Aura is like locking the front door and leaving the back door wide open. Aura is always on doing the hard work to keep you safe so you can focus on other tasks and have peace of mind. We value our privacy and we value yours. You can go to aura.com/Saturday to start your 2-week free trial. Also, link below in the description. Again, aura.com/Saturday for your free 2-week trial.